What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Y'all here right now with your big brother Saturday evening live. It's not Friday night, it's Saturday evening. Where at least where I am. For some of y'all it might be Saturday night. If you're overseas, if you're in Europe, if you're in Africa, it's absolutely night. Um, but we're not gonna get too picky and too detailed about that. We're here, man. Wasn't able to get on with y'all last night. A lot was going on. Of course, I was just like y'all watching the sporting events, and that's kind of one of the things that inspired this subject today. And we'll get it going as soon as the family shows up. As soon as the family shows up, as I'm starting to see the family put it up now. I see y'all putting up in the driveway. Y'all are putting up in the driveway right now, man. The driveway can only hold so many cars, so some of y'all will have to park in front of some of my neighbor's house. Park your car down the street, they ain't gonna tow it. You all good, y'all are welcome. But wherever you park your car, wherever you decide to come, be sure to hit that like button, man. Be sure to hit that like button. My volume low, LW, let me see. No, I got mine up pretty up. But I don't know. But yeah, but hit the like button as y'all come in, of course. And we'll get started, man. We're not gonna waste no time. We'll get started with who's here. Yeah, Phantom Face, you could have got a valet. You could have got a valet parking, man. You could have got some valet parking. They'll park your car for you. You ain't got to worry about all that extra stuff, man. But and it's free to get in. You ain't got to pay to get in this club. It's free to get in. No cover charge, man. But as y'all see by the title, I titled this Unrealistic Expectations. And I did that based on what we watched with the Mike Tyson fight last night. And I felt like it was a great opportunity to kind of take a principle out of that and see if we can apply it to our everyday life, to our real life. Because we're gonna go into that because we're gonna do an episode of our sports podcast Legends 34 tonight as well, and we'll continue on that subject from a sports standpoint. Just my take on it, but I'll touch on a little bit of it while we're here right now. Raise your hand if you saw the fight last night. I got my hand up. If you saw the fight last night, just say yeah, I saw it, or yes, or hand up, or whatever it is, whatever. Wherever you are in the world, if you saw the fight last night. Okay. So from what I'm seeing, it's looking like the majority of people that's in here now, well, I ain't saying the majority, but people in here saw the fight. Some people did see the fight. So, to MC Josiah's point, I agree as well. It went the way I expected it to go in terms of the outcome and in terms of why the outcome would be like it ended up being. I feared that Mike would get knocked out, even though I was hoping that he would catch Jake Paul with one of them throwback retro Tyson shots. But I also knew that in the sport of boxing, mainly, and in most sports, but in the sport of boxing mainly, man, it's a young man's game. More so than anything in boxing. Stamina, reflexes, just having the wind, all these different things, they factor in, and they're very important. You can't get down without it. So I felt like Mike was gonna lose. I was just hoping that he didn't get knocked out, and he didn't. So I looked at that like, hey, whew, I'm glad he didn't get knocked out. But usually, anybody who knows boxing, usually you're kind of able to see what a guy has, an older guy has, in that first or second round. And Mike seemed to run out of gas probably midway through the first round. And I think that was probably his biggest concern coming in, was just like, I know I would have killed this guy 30 years. It wouldn't even been close. Mike would have knocked this dude out in a minute. But I think his concern was probably like, am I gonna have the wind, like just the faculties that I need to be able to go in here and do what I know to do? Because Mike has forgotten more boxing than Jake Paul will ever learn. So I felt like he would lose. But the problem is, and what led to this topic was just the unrealistic expectations that a lot of Mike Tyson fans had coming in. Because for whatever reason, a lot of people just had this notion that we was going to see 1987 Tyson come in at 58 years old, run through this dude like he used to do in the first round, and then everybody go home. But that's an unrealistic expectation. I don't care who you are, you cannot think that 30 years of time and attrition and wear and tear and inactivity, you cannot think that you could just turn it on like that and just come in the ring and all of a sudden, no matter how great you used to be, you can't do it. It's a term called ring rust. That term exists for a reason. Even somebody that's in their prime, even a boxer who is still young and active, but he might take 18 months off, 2 years off. He will have what's called ring rust, because inactivity puts rust on you. If you play basketball, remember when Michael Jordan came back from, when Michael Jordan retired the first time and he went and played baseball. He came back for the first time about almost 2 years later. He wasn't even gone a full 2 years, and he was trying to rebuild his body back into basketball form and basketball shape and condition after playing baseball all those years. And it took him a while. He didn't come right in dominating. You watch Mike's first couple of games when he came back, his mechanics was off. He still was athletic because he was still young at that time, but it took him a while. That's in anything. The law of use and abuse. See? The law of use and abuse. If you don't use something, it's a form of abusing it, and eventually you'll lose it. But Mike Tyson won the heavyweight championship of the world for the first time when he was 20 years old. He was the youngest heavyweight champion ever in history. That was 38 years ago. So for people to expect the guy that knocked out Trevor Berbick and became the youngest heavyweight of all time, people was really expecting that guy to be in the ring last night. Now we're gonna all watch it because we love Mike, and the mystique of Mike is just eternal. We always feel like Mike got that one shot, he got that one punch in him. But the reality is, Lady Trill, the reality, Father Time is undefeated. Remember that? Father Time is undefeated. It catches up. Now, the only way this would not have looked the way it looked is if Mike Tyson would have been fighting Evander Holyfield last night. Somebody his own age. Somebody with the same level of wear and tear and physical pounding that he's taking. You can't do that against a guy that's half your age, less than half your age. Dude's 27 years old, in the prime of his life, in the top shape of his life. You're not going to even have the stamina. So when you hear about people who are actually like mad, they like mad at Mike. Man, Mike got in there, man, laid an egg. He wouldn't even throw a punch. He probably couldn't. Too tired. And if he could, you got to pick your spots. You got to pick your spots and making your decision on when you're going to exert energy. You can't waste energy in a boxing match. You have to pace yourself when you're not in that kind of physical condition. So people want Mike, go in, Mike, go in. Get him, Mike. Come on, Mike, get him. Mike like, shh, man, hold on. Wait, hold up. I can't go in like that. Because you go in, and while Mike's defense was still pretty good for a guy that age, all you got to do is watch some old clips of Mike, and you'll see his defense was amazing. Head movement, reflexes, that's not there no more. So it's foolish to be mad and acting like, oh, man, Mike sold out, man, I wasted my time. And that. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think you was going to see? So my deal is, I'm just glad he came out of it, didn't get hurt, didn't get knocked out, didn't get hurt, because that's a dangerous thing for somebody at that age to be fighting somebody that young, that can catch you with a shot, Even though Mike could catch him with a shot. But we live in the past a lot. And that's really what the basis of this conversation is, how we live in the past. And now we want to try to put that as a stain on Tyson's legacy. His legacy went up to me. And people will say, why? Why? His legacy gained a notch to me because greatness can never be achieved when restricted, when the attempt at it is restricted by fear and apprehension. Greatness can never be achieved when the attempt at it is restricted by fear and apprehension. So I'm saying to all of y'all, to be great is not easy to do. You can't just say, you know what, I'm gonna be great today. You can say it, but true greatness is a tough thing to accomplish. So it doesn't just stop at working hard in whatever field it is to be great. It don't stop there, because you could train, you could practice, you could be a ballerina and you could just practice the ballet and all the moves spinning and pirouetting, and you could be a bowler, you could be whatever it is, you can practice a pool shooter, whatever it is that you're striving to be, you can train at it as hard as you can. You can master the sciences of it. But a time and a moment is going to come where you're going to be either put in a position or called to the carpet to show what you got. To show what you got in a pressurized situation where people are watching, people are looking. And you have to make the decision in that moment to go for it. Like Pimpin' Ken used to say, you're going to have to barbecue a mildew. You got to barbecue a mildew. What you going to do? Because some people, they can have all the training, but they don't have the belief. What good is acquiring the skill and the tools, the physical tools to be able to do something if you don't have the mental tools to be able to say, okay, now the physical and the mental combined, let's go get the moment. If you're scared, you're not going to accomplish nothing, basically. So the reason I say Tyson's legacy went up, it was added on to in a positive way to me, was because in the condition that he was in, he still had the courage to do it. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking, because I'm a mind reader. Some of y'all say, oh man, well, he did it for the money. Yeah, it's easy to do it for the money. And yeah, he did it for the money. I'm not going to argue with you on that he did it for the money. It's hard to pass up $20 million, but he didn't just do it for the money. Believe me, I don't know Mike Tyson personally, never met Mike Tyson. But I feel confident in saying that the money was not the only reason that he did it. Because even if you are saying that you're going to do it for the money, you're still running a risk at that age of something terrible happening to you. Because you could get hit by a shot, you could get beat up real bad and messed up, man. People die in the ring all the time. But even if he don't die in the ring, even if he don't get beat up bad or messed up or some type of physical or neurological damage is inflicted on him, it could just be the wear and tear that he put on himself to get in that position and just getting in the ring, just the anxiety of it that could mess him up. It could be the fear of so-called destroying his legacy that could mess him up. So having the courage to still get in there and give it a shot. And look, and I ain't no participation trophy type of dude. Y'all should know me by now. But I'm going to say this. He won just off of that, to me. Not the fight, but he won in life just off of that. It was a lesson in it that was inspirational from my vantage point. It was inspirational. Like, okay, Mike, okay, I mean, so I don't look at Mike like, I'm not disappointed in Mike at all. At all. The only way I would have been disappointed in Mike is if they'd came out and made it into some type of circus. They'd have did something crazy on purpose that would let everybody know it was a scam. It was just that would have disappointed me. But I don't see that. I don't think that was the case. And y'all looking at a man in Mike Tyson thinking Mike gonna come out and be the old Mike. Mike been smoking weed, doing whatever he been doing for 30 years. Like, come on, man. And no matter how fast or how much you try to cram training to get in some semblance of shape and condition, come on, man. Come on, man. I think the biggest disappointment, for me was Netflix, because the stream kept freezing up. They should have been ready. You have to know, hey man, this is probably gonna be the biggest event we've ever had. Somebody got to say, what are the potential chances of overloading this server and then freezing and buffering? And somebody, you got to factor all that in. I said on social media last night, I said they should have put this fight on Tubi. But now we'll transfer over into real life. Unrealistic expectations. And I would like for y'all, if y'all would be willing to do this, to kind of offer a few that you might feel fit into that category. Sometimes we look at people, it could be your son, your daughter, it could be your mother. You could be a boss or a head of a company or a head of, you could be a boss, a leader in some capacity, and you have people under you, and you set not a standard, but you lay out a quota for them to reach, or mark for them to reach by a certain time that just realistically it's impossible to do. And you just driving them, and you lose people because you're not being realistic. See? I saw this TV show where this guy was married to this lady, and he was real extreme about how he wanted the house to be cleaned. And no matter what she would do or how she would clean the house, he would always find something to be wrong with the way she cleaned. White glove test. He just run his glove across the counter and see, look at this. Look at this. I mean, the slightest little, where it is impossible for a human being or machine to clean in the way that he's expecting this woman to be able to clean. Now, part of his thing, he just throw it off. But it's an example of just how people will set unrealistic expectations on you and then be disappointed when you're not able to do the impossible. So you should never let people hold your feet to the flames like that. Now, let me say this. It's a thin line between those unrealistic expectations and somebody pushing you to reach a potential that you are absolutely capable of reaching. Because sometimes people will use the unrealistic expectations excuse. Well, I'm just not, you're just too extreme. No, you can do this. You can do this. So you got to learn that the differences between those two things I just named. But people would do that with their own children, man. They'll set these bars for their children, man. At a certain age, a child just not able to reach. They slave driving these children to try to live out. They trying to make their children live out their dreams. You trying to make your children live out your dreams. Your parents may have tried to do that to you. It might not be you doing it, but you may have been, I won't say a victim of it, but it may have happened. Your parents may have pushed you to try to do something that they failed at, and now they driving you, now they consuming your life because they want you to be what they couldn't be. And it's not even your passion. It's not even in your heart to want to do that. And then you have the ones who would try to please that person who's setting those expectations on. They'll say, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can and start to do a great job at it. I mean, they doing great. They are accomplishing things. And then in that person's eyes, who they doing this for, it seems to never. You ever had somebody that just no matter what you do, it's never good enough? It's never good enough. You can do the most amazing thing in the world. You can hit the lottery. You can go buy a lottery ticket, and that lottery ticket hit for 25 million. They're going to say, well, they had the one last month. The Powerball was 180 million. Wish you would have hit that Powerball. Then we'd have really, but they just hit for 35 million, and it's still not good enough. When you're dealing with someone who you recognize that no matter what you do, it's not going to be good enough, you need to separate yourself from that person. Separate yourself from that person. Because it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. No matter what you do, it's not going to be good enough. So now you spending your whole life stressing and straining, mentally just destroying yourself because you want the approval of somebody who's never going to stamp you. They're not going to ever stamp you. The expectations are unrealistic. Many people have gone through that. You work at a job. The boss seems to never be satisfied. You think you did a great job on this project. You in school, you got a teacher or a professor. They never seem to be satisfied with what you do. And you know you're doing a great job. You got to recognize that, because what will happen if you don't, now what will happen if you don't, you will fool yourself into start blaming yourself and thinking it's your fault and thinking that, well, maybe I'm just not good enough. Because they'll say that. Well, I can get somebody in here that can do this and that. Okay, well, that's what you should have been did. That's what you tell them. You should have been got that person. Why? What's taking you so long to go get them? Don't let people weigh on your mind like that to make you feel less than, because all they are doing, they know that you're getting the job. They know that you're doing it right. But to keep you underfoot, they got to downplay your performance, which makes you push harder to their benefit. So don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Now, some people might say, well, what about unrealistic expectations set by a person on their own self? Is that an actual thing? Yeah, it is a real thing. Because while it is a balance, it is a thin line between a person setting unrealistic expectations on themselves. The other side to that, where you got to be careful with, you also never want to restrict a person or tell a person that it's something that they can't do. You always want to encourage people, your children, your friends. You always want to make them feel like, hey, man, you can do anything that you set your mind to. But there are exceptions. For example, some people are born naturally gifted and athletically inclined, and just throw a basketball at them and they just naturally they just got it, man. They got it. They work on stuff and the game comes easy to them for whatever reason. It could be just genetic, God-given, just the game comes easy to them. Then you got other people who really truly love the game, but they clumsy. 2 left feet, way too short, unathletic, and you just can't play. You're not going to be good enough no matter what you do. But in your mind, you're going to the NBA, but you're really not. So that is an unrealistic expectation. We have to all be able to look in the mirror and say, well, nah, that ain't my lane, man. Yeah, I love the game, but I just wasn't good enough. That's not my lane. You think that you should be the lead singer in the group. It's a group. It's a group of y'all. There's 4 of y'all in the group. Got this singing group, and you got a good voice, but you don't have a great voice. You'll have a lead singer type voice. The girl right there, she got the lead singer. That's the lead singer right there. Her, your buddy, your friend. She's the lead singer. But in your mind, why is she getting all the solo? Why they writing all the songs for her? Why is she getting out? Because she's the best person for the job. You specialize in background singing, harmony. I've seen it. The proof is in the pudding. You had individuals who were in groups and they felt like the lead singer was getting too much shine. So they went solo and it didn't work. They went solo and got hit with a bolo because that wasn't their skill. Everybody's not meant to be out front. So you felt like, I'm just as good as her. No, you're not. But it's okay. It's okay. Because the same thing applies to a sports team like basketball. Bro, I grew up watching the Houston Rockets, Akeem Olajuwon, my favorite player. Dude, Akeem Olajuwon's one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game of basketball. He was the best player on the Rockets team from the time he got there to the time he left. So I'm going to name a player that played with the Rockets for many years. Kenny Smith was a really, really good NBA basketball player. Kenny Smith could hoop. But it would be unrealistic for Kenny to say, hey, man, I should be getting just as many shots as Akeem Olajuwon. I'm just as great as he is. I could carry the team if they ran the offense through me. That's unrealistic. But you couldn't. No. But he understood that. Great players, part of being good and great is understanding what your strengths are. But it's just as important or even more important to understand what your weaknesses are than it is to understand what your strengths are. I'm going to say that one again. It's just as important or more important to learn and understand what your weaknesses are as it is to know what your strengths are. I need to know what I'm not good at so I can know my place and I can work on what I'm not good at. See? So yeah, you can place unrealistic expectations on yourself. You can be delusional. But on another note, as it relates to accomplishing goals, you do have to have, I do believe you have to have a percentage of delusion to be successful. You got to halfway believe in the in certain things that might be far-fetched to a degree. Like I said, if you 3'9" and pudgy and unathletic, your delusion, the good delusion, is not going to help you be an NBA player. It's not going to help. It might help you be a coach, but you got to be a little delusional. See, when I started doing rap back in my younger days, I had a degree of delusion in me because I just felt like I just believed that this is what I was going to do. Even at a time where people were saying rap music wasn't going to last long, it's going to play out at some point and it's going to be a fad and nobody's going to be doing it. Nobody I had ever known personally was making money off of it and being successful at it. The only people that I ever seen being successful at it was Run DMC and LL Cool J and people that were on that level. So what was it that made me feel like, oh, I got a shot. I can do that too. I can make a living doing this. What put me in that mind frame? You got to be a little delusional. But even in your delusion, it has to be, your delusion has to be rooted in a reality. Your delusion has to be rooted in a reality that could become possible, not something that can't be possible. So at the end of the day, make sure that you are not one of those people who get caught up in that, man, because you will tag and brand people with things that people that you care about, people that you love, you'll tag them and brand them in ways that are not fair. It's not fair for you to expect that. And a lot of things that we'll put on other people are things that we can't even do ourselves, things that we're not even able to pull off ourselves. So it's like, man, how can you pull that off? It's like, how can you try to put that weight on me and you couldn't even do that? You're going to tell me I need to be from the other side of town in 5 o'clock Houston traffic. I need you to get from one side of town, this side of town. I need you to be here in 10 minutes. It's impossible. So I'm going to go into y'all's comments a little earlier than usual. Catherine Brown, where can I send a gift for you? What kind of gift are you trying to send to me, Catherine Brown? Trying to send me some anthrax? No, I'm just playing. Yeah. All right. LW says, demand excellence from your woman. You can, two people can, I wouldn't say demand, but two people can push for excellence from each other. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But realistically, I think that excellence should be pushed for and requested within the brackets of whatever it is that they are skilled at, whatever it is that they do, or as it relates to how y'all treat each other. So I don't 100% disagree with that. Universal Mother of All says, I like who Mike has become. Also, God surely blessed that man. Absolutely. Say, man, the Ghetto Boys had a song called No Nuts, No Glory. It was a play on words from the term no guts, no glory. Same thing. Guts and nuts are the same thing if you know, if you understand. If somebody say, hey, son, go out there, you got to have some guts. It's the same thing as if the coach say, hey, man, you better go out there, man, and show some nuts. Same thing. No guts, no glory. Sometimes when you play it safe, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Young, rugged, and raw says unrealistic expectations can often be the silent architects of our own discontent. Bingo. We're not satisfied with our own self. So it's not fair to try to put a demand on people that you're not even able to meet yourself. But always remember, I said unrealistic. Like I say, not something where you see potential of somebody where you know they can do it and they don't believe. You have to instill belief in that person. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when it's like, dude, you can't do that. Man, I'm going to sell dope forever. I'm going to make a career out of selling dope. No, you're not. I bet you don't. That's an unrealistic expectation. I'm going fast. What y'all arguing with Mitchie for? Let me see. I see y'all, few people. Mitchie is getting into it with some folks in here, man. Let me see. It says Mike Tyson fight script, Google image. So you feel like it was scripted? Feel like the fight was scripted? A hacker crashed the stream. A hacker crashed the stream. Mitchie says, I have scripted proof. What's the proof, Mitchie? I don't believe it was scripted. I believe that Mike, see, Mike ain't built to where he would just disrespect the sport of boxing. Because we had a conversation about that in the gym last week when some people were saying, oh man, it's gonna be rigged up, it's gonna be a scam. And I was like, nah, man, certain people respect the science of boxing too much to participate in something like that. Now, the only thing that I would say that would be rigged up about this whole event would be from Jake Paul's angle, that he handpicks easy wins. He's yet to fight somebody that's really, really comparable. Like, this is dangerous. This guy, if you look at all his fights, all his wins are just handpicked, even basketball players, and he's gonna fight like a basketball player or a past his prime boxer or a really low ranked boxer or MMA guy who doesn't box, but he's old and he can kind of, box a little. Every match he handpicks to keep himself at an advantage. That's the only part of it that I look at and say, yeah, it's shady, because he's yet to really, really fight somebody who can really fight. He's not even in the I guess I want to say the pool of the regular boxers, because he has power now to promote and put together his events, and he has that following that's going to gravitate towards it, and now he's generating money as a businessman. he's in a position, he's in a driver's seat to where he can say, who we got next? Oh, this dude's a bare knuckles guy who never really fought before. Yeah, I think I can beat him. Yeah, we'll fight him. That's rigging it up to me. That's the scam part of it to me. Because like I said, he's not in the pool with the ranked guys, the guys who are really heavyweights and that's on the list, top 10 heavyweights ranked. He's over here doing his own thing the way he does it. That don't count to me. So that's the only part of it I say is rigged, because he's going to always line the odds up in his favor. You can't do that in real boxing. Can't do that. And regardless of how it went down, that's part of why he picked Mike. Mike didn't have the stamina, man. I know we love Mike. I love Mike, man. I was hoping Mike caught him. But Mike was tired, man. He didn't have nothing, man. I know it's like it hurts. Y'all don't understand. I don't think the people who say that, y'all do not understand what it takes to box. The conditioning that it takes to get in boxing shape. The training that it takes to get in. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all just watching. Oh, he ain't punching. He ain't moving in. Man, he need to go. He might need to go at him. Dude, I'm tired. And some of y'all probably have never had a real fight before. But I can guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee, but even if you've never had a real fight, I bet you've seen one on the street, in school, in the neighborhood. And how do the fights in the neighborhood typically go? Let me tell you how they go. If you got two untrained people that's finna fight, right? They gonna come straight out on 1,000, swinging and in 8 seconds, they both are about to pass out. Tired. You ever seen people fight and in about a minute, they either stand there or they holding each other. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. No, let me go. And neither one of them want to let the other one go. Because if you don't have the stamina, you don't have the training and the technique to fight, you watching a boxing match and you go, oh man, the round is only 3 minutes. Bro, stand in the mirror by yourself and try to just punch and move for 3 minutes straight, just by yourself. Try to shadow box. Shadow box for 2 minutes if you're not in shape, no kind of shape. Just do it. You bounce around, like you just do that full on for 2 minutes and see if you make it to 2 minutes. So you're underestimating the conditioning that it takes to be a boxer. So you watching it on TV saying, man, he ain't doing this. He ain't. Dude, at 58, hey man, props to Mike, bro. But everybody had their opinion. It's gonna always be that kind of talk and speculation and conspiracy theories and all. No matter in a regular fight, somebody gonna have something to say. Let me catch up. And they chopped it down to 2 minute rounds. I see you explore. That's still hard to do. If you're not trained, if you're not in condition. You're not in condition. We can't look at this just as fight fans and think these people are just machines, man. And getting caught up in the old Mike Tyson. He's almost 60. Y'all expecting Mike to do what he did at 25. All you got to do is go back and watch Mike Tyson's last official fight when he was in his late 30s when he retired. When he fought, who the last fight Mike fought? When he retired. Was it McBride? He was done then. Go watch Mike Tyson versus Kevin McBride. That fight took place somewhere in the early 2000s, I'm guessing. He was done. So how you gonna be better 20-some years later? Come on, man. We got to be realistic. Unrealistic expectations. Universal Mother Art. Mike is 58. Speaks to level of expectations. Exactly. And I get it. We want to have that nostalgia. We want to relive them glory days. We want to see it. Father Time is undefeated. Yep. LW say Floyd Mayweather made a career doing fights he knows he could win. I don't agree with that. Floyd fought some bad dudes in his day. Now, what I will say, I think that Floyd, because Floyd is amazing, defensive fighter, the tops of the tops. But I do think Floyd benefited a lot from the era that he's fighting, that he fought in, even though it was a really good era, and it's not his fault. You can't control when you're born. But I feel like if Floyd fought back when Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran and Marvin Hagler and those guys, if he fought in that era, he'd have some losses on his record. He gonna lose to them dudes. But Floyd fought some tough fighters. We can argue the Pacquiao fight came too late. Yeah, but Margarita and Cotto and a lot of those guys he fought, these were top fighters. We fought a young Canelo at the time. You know, Canelo was on the way up. With nobody beating Canelo around that time. Every fighter is gonna fight past their prime fight. Every great, because the greats don't leave. They won't leave. So yeah, Floyd fought Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane was a little past his prime. He fought De La Hoya. De La Hoya was a little past his prime. The greats don't leave. But he fought a lot of young people. He fought Zab Judah. A lot of great fighters was in Floyd's era now. Oscar says people expected prime Mike or something. They did. It's crazy. People are insane, bro. Oh, Mike gonna come out and no, not gonna happen. See, Father Time caught up with Mike 20 years ago in his last official fight. So only one way Mike would have won that fight. It's only one way that Mike would have won that fight. He should have let me write his theme song to come to the ring out on. He would have won. He would have won. If I'd have wrote Mike a song to come out on, he wouldn't have lost. Y'all believe that? Y'all think if I wrote Mike a song to come out on last night, he would have won? I think he would have won. Mike would have let me do a song. The rule would have been he would have had to listen to it like 5 times in a row before he came out, and then play it as he's coming out. Let it play in the whole stadium as he's coming out. Because I would have been saying some stuff that would be like, "Ooh, Mike would be like, ooh, knock this dude." Yeah, but don't be the person that puts over the top expectations on other people, man. Give people the benefit of the doubt and see people for where they are. Don't do people like that, man. Don't be foolish enough to be delusional enough to expect folks to be over and beyond. Because sometimes the unexpected expectations are intentional. People do it because they know you're not going to be able to do it. They want to sabotage you. They want to mess you up. You ever heard a police officer telling somebody, stop resisting, and you're not even resisting? You ever heard a set of police officers telling somebody uh, one command, and then the other officer is telling him to do another command? Put your hands up. Then the other officer says, put your hands out. Then you're like, I said put them up. I said put them out. They're doing stuff intentionally to confuse you or to make it seem like you are disobeying the command so they'd be justified in doing something to you. See? I'm trying to tell you, man. So some people do it on purpose. They want to break you. Amy McClure says, without my dad, my mom has nothing. She's been controlling of his. She's been controlling of his what? You say, without my dad, my mom has nothing. Did your dad pass away? I mean, what happened? Trying to get some understanding. Dog Walk Rehab said the Tyson that fought Roy Jones would have beat Paul. That's been a conversation because he looked way better against Roy Jones, but people don't understand the difference. That 4 years, that was 4 years ago when he fought Roy Jones, I think. When was the Roy Jones fight? Somebody search that for me and get back to me. Yeah, because Mike was 54. So that makes a difference, man. That makes a difference, bro. 1 year makes a difference. Some of y'all this time last year, you was moving like this. This year, you like, it makes a difference, man. I'm reading y'all's comments still, man. And I didn't want to make this 100% about the fight. The fight just reminded me of a principle that could be drawn out in life. See? Is that Tony Samarano 99? Hey, man, thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the donation, Tony. I appreciate that, man. Blessings to you, man. Salute to you, Tony. Don't be a stranger, Tony. Let us see you on the regular. At 9 o'clock tonight, Central Time, which is about 2 hours from now. So wherever you're at, it's about 2 hours and 7 minutes from now. Legends 34 podcast, and Legends 34 podcast, we'll be doing an episode on Zoom covering the fight and other things going on in local and national sports. So y'all see right there at the bottom, Legends 34. Subscribe to that channel, and in a couple of hours, well, now about 3 hours, check out that episode. We'll have it up on the Legends 34 podcast, man. That's our sports podcast with the homie DJ Rec. Appreciate that, Chase. Chase says, I see how you use the fight to illustrate and relate. Yeah, man, that's a principle of life in everything, in sports and music, and it's something you can always extract from one situation that you might think is unrelated that you can apply to your regular life. So when I saw the reactions to the fight and people act like they mad and disappointed, I'm like, at what? What did you expect to happen, man? Some of y'all got grandchildren. I mean, not grandchildren. Some of y'all have grandparents that are 58. Some of y'all may be closer to that age yourself. You ever seen a father who used to be an athlete try to race their son or something? Boy, I get out there right now and outrun you. The son like, Dad, hey, stay in your lane, Dad. Boy, I ran track back. Yeah, back when. It ain't back when, it's right now. And the daddy get out there and want to race his son and start running and fall down, bust his head. And because what the mind says ain't always what the body is able to do. Connie says, yeah, they want to confuse you so you'll do something crazy so they can mess you up real good. Yeah. Lay on the ground. One of them tell you to lay on the ground. Stand up. The other one tell you to stand up. Like, you disobeying the order. Come on, man. Rondo says in 4 years, a baby can go from on themselves to walking, talking, and doing math, playing the piano, shooting basketball. From birth in 4 years, make a big difference in the progression or the regression of an individual. Those years are short when you're talking about prime years. From 22 to 26, you pretty much gonna be the same person, barring an accident or some crap. From 22 to 26, you're the same person. You may pick up a little more wisdom, or at least you should. From 26 to 30, you still about the same person, but you might not be the same person at 30 that you was at 22. Because now that's an 8-year gap. But from 30 to 34, depending on how you take care of yourself, somebody like LeBron or somebody like that, Michael Jordan or somebody, yeah, okay. But let me tell you this, from 34 to 38, it's a different game, bro. When you start inching towards 40, when you start when you start to make your descent towards 40, when that plane started landing in 40'sville, it's a different ball game, bro. different ball game. And you out there trying to mess around with the 22-year-olds. Stuff starts to change. Now you get wiser. You understand life better. You understand the game better. Found Face says somebody at the store said they bet $3,500 on that Tyson fight. Yeah, because they are locked in 1990. Oh, Tyson finna come out and knock him out in 42 seconds. Yeah, if he fought you, 3,500. And whoever bet the 3,500 probably mad that they lost. Man, Tyson messed me over, man. I can't believe Mike Tyson cost me my money. No, you cost yourself your money. If you was going to place a bet, you can't bet winner loser. You got to bet detailed stuff, selected. You got to bet that it goes the distance or it doesn't go the distance. You got to place those kind of bets. You got to bet, will he knock Tyson out? Will Tyson knock him down? You got to bet detailed stuff. So, Mitchell, you think he didn't even try? I'm telling you, y'all don't understand. He's 58, man, with years of wear and tear. Do you know how long Mike Tyson been? Mike Tyson been boxing since he was like 12, 13 years old, bro. Mike Tyson has been boxing for 45 years or something like that. He's been in boxing that long. The training and the wear and tear that this man has put on his body, man, mixed in with life on his body. You got life on your body too. You don't have the stamina. You don't have the legs no more. So he didn't even try. I would like to know, what did y'all expect? That's the name of this. I couldn't have laid this out no better. What did y'all expect? I just want to know y'all's opinions because I see Mitchie put it down there. And is that a little stuck? Can y'all articulate? Can y'all write out? Can y'all type out what y'all expected to happen? So Alil says, what about the training videos where he hitting so fast and hard? Bruh, those clips are 8 seconds long. So you can easily come out in an 8-second spurt, and the guy can have the camera and say, okay, I'm recording, and Mike can just bing, 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 zing, zing, bing, boom, 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 boom. And everybody go, whoo, ooh, Jake in trouble. Jake in trouble. Because that takes 8 seconds, bro. And it doesn't exert the type of energy that's going to be exerted throughout the course of an 8-round match, even going 2 rounds a piece. 2 minutes around, I mean. It's a difference. You can't compare a clip. Can't do that. That's like you see a video of me and I just come out, I'm on a basketball court and I just get the ball and I go, and I turn around and rock, hit all nibble like, yeah, I'm ready. And so, ooh, that boy ready. I just one shot. Then when I get on the court, I run up and down the court 3 times. I'm tired, I'm wore out. See? We gotta be realistic. That was the equivalent of a sound bite. That was a video bite. We can't be fooled by those types of clips. I saw a clip of Muhammad Ali years ago. This when Muhammad Ali was full on. Muhammad Ali was in his 60s. He already had Parkinson's. He could barely talk, but he could still walk. Still had, kind of knew where he was. He knew it. He knew what was going on around him, and he walked up to a heavy bag. This was old Ali, about 60 some years old. He walked up to a heavy bag. He was in his gym, and his speech was slurred, almost gone. He looked right in the camera. He said, imagine one of these going upside your head. And he, bah! And he hit that heavy bag, and you heard it like, whoo! And this is Parkinson's Ali. But he hit that bag so hard. So we would be delusional to think, wow, Ali, I think if Ali get in there right now, he could probably, no. You just don't have it, man. You just don't have it, man. But I respect the man for getting in there. People are going to always say it was rigged up. In this day and age, people are going to start to drive themselves crazy because it's going to get to a point where nobody's going to believe anything is real anymore. Everybody's going to become an EIF, everything is fake person. Nothing is real, especially if it doesn't go in their favor or the way they may have thought it's supposed to go. Oh, it's fake. People been doing that for years. If you bet on a boxing match between two people in their prime and your guy loses, you go, oh man, it was rigged up, man. The fix was in. Oh man, the NBA is rigged. Oh man, this is rigged. This is rigged. Oh, the election was rigged. Wait a minute. Sometimes that does happen. Go back to George Bush days. But we just got this thing, man, where, and I get it, this world makes it to where it's hard to trust, but our discernment has to pick up to a degree to where at least common sense kind of kicks in. It's like, Now, cognitive dissonance makes a good point. He said they wanted people to bet emotionally. That's a good point, too. And they knew plenty of old heads wanted Mike to KO Jake straight up. I was one of them because he's a clown to many. Yeah, that's how I feel. Hey, y'all click the like button if y'all haven't already. I'm going to try to get to 100. We'll see if we can get there. 100 likes. Yeah, good points. Cognitive dissonance makes a good point. Yeah. Illuminati says the Kings should have beat the Lakers that one time, though refs got jail. Yeah, that's why. Look, there are moments where it's rigged. I agree. There are moments where the fix is in. I agree. But I have an issue with people who just think that everything in the world is fake and rigged up. You're going to go crazy one day. Everything is rigged. Every EIFs, man. Everything is fake. Just the EIF. This ain't no pen. It's fake. On the flip side, be careful with that AI too, that artificial intelligence stuff, because a time is going to come where, like I say, you're not going to know what's real and what's fake. When they get to putting stuff and creating scenarios and things like that, man, they already testing it. But that's another story for another day. Yeah, but the Kings and the Lakers. Now, which game was that? They had that janky ref But I'm gonna say something, man. That was a game 7 between the Lakers and the Kings. Might have been that same year you're talking about. The Kings missed about 10, 12 free throws that game, and it was a close game. So in that situation, even if the refs is doing some stuff, man, you lose by 2 or 3 and you miss 14 free throws, you really can't blame that on the refs. Can you dig it? Appreciate the love, Amy. Yeah. All right, man. Seems like y'all might be done with it. Seems like y'all might be done with it. Y'all got anything else? I see you, Cornelius. Um, Underground Dialogue Podcast. Y'all go check out the latest episodes. We air every Wednesday, except this past Wednesday, at 9 p.m. Central Time on YouTube, the Underground Dialogue Podcast. Me and my brother Keith Stowe. And next week we will have former Rap-A-Lot artist Tulo will be our guest, the funky little brother. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember Tulo, but that would be who's on the show. Captain, y'all made a painting for me, man. Oh man, I want that. Just like my homie Jimmy did one that I still haven't got yet. That's on me. But that's my email address, Catherine. So hit me up and we'll coordinate it. I'm gonna do it for real too, and Jimmy too. Anybody that take time to make a painting, a drawing of me, I want it. Charge it to my mind, not my heart. Your boy be just moving around busy. Yeah. If you haven't hit the likes, hit it already. I want to get to 100 before I let y'all go, but it's not looking too good tonight. Oscar Martinez says, at the end of the day, it was all entertainment. They got paid. They got a big bag. That's true. Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah. Universal Mother of All said, I'd like to take this opportunity to accept the information from this live and apply it to my life. I know that's right. I appreciate that. Me too. I need to apply it to my life. Look, just because we say it don't always mean we the best example of it. We trying. Sometimes we say stuff and we actually speaking to ourselves in some cases. Appreciate the love, Mitchie. We all in this thing together. 16, can we get 16 more likes? 16 more likes. I feel like the preacher begging for tithes. Y'all know that the air conditioning unit is not working. Brothers and sisters, we need about $1,800. And I'm looking in the collection plate, and I only see $32.19. It's the collection plate for thumbs up and likes. $14 more? Okay, y'all hit the not hit the like, but y'all drop y'all locations, man. Let me shout y'all out while we try and get these last likes. So we get them, we don't. Y'all drop y'all locations, man, so I can give y'all shout outs. Everybody in the room, I'll shout y'all out. Mm-hmm. Rando says, do you think some of the old heads realize that they don't got it like they used to after watching the fight? I mean, it should have took the fight to know that. But I will say this, man, you're only as old as you cause yourself to be, or you allow yourself to become, or whatever is imposed on you. You know, age is a condition. The effects of aging, it's a condition that we have the ability to impose on ourselves, or stave off, or reverse. If we really got some knowledge, you can reverse the aging process, right? So, but the reality is, regardless of what you're doing, you know, over time you're gonna lose a step. You're gonna slow down a little bit. You just don't want your slowdown to be dramatic. See? So if you was somebody who uh if you had a 45-inch vertical when you was 20 years old, then now you're 25 and your vertical is 42 inches. That's still pretty good. You lost 3 inches off of it. You used to run the 40 and 4.4, but now you're running like 4.8. Ain't bad. You don't want your drop off to be dramatic in anything in life that you do. I don't care what it is. You don't want your drop off to be like, man, wow, she fell off. Even from a physical standpoint, I guess everything I was mentioned from physical, even from physical appearance, you're gonna age. You're not gonna look exactly how you looked in high school 20 years after you graduate. You're not gonna look exactly like that, but you want the change to be as minimal as possible. You don't want to be unrecognizable at the high school reunion. You don't want people to say, oh, wow, whoa, what happened to him? Oh my God, whoo, boy, he got fat. Man, look at her. Boy, she was the prom queen. Wow, she let herself go. You don't want people to say that. You want it to be like, okay, I know that's him. He ain't as youthful as he used, but he's held up over the years pretty decent. That's what you want people to say. And all that does, that starts with taking care of yourself. It's about how you take care of yourself. See, early work pays off late. You do your work early, it pays off late. You ever had chores to do? They say, okay, yeah, you got to do this, do that, do that. You got the people that's going to wait to the last minute to try to do it. But the wise people, man, let me go and knock this out right now. That way I got the rest of my day to do what I want to do, because I took care of my work early. Get these shout outs popping, man. Mitchie 450 is in Quebec, Canada. Demetrius Rousseau in Chicago. Chase in Nacogdoches. Alil Stuck is in Houston, Texas, H-Town. Catherine Brown, Goodrich, Texas. We trying to get good and rich right here in Texas. Phantom Faces in that 614, better known as Columbus, Ohio. Connie said, I'm still in Cali, Southern Cali, 619. Vincent is in Hawaii. And he said he added a 50. Bookham Dano. Brian Matney. What's going on, Brian Matney? Brian Matney is in Omaha, Nebraska. The homie Clayton Johnson is in Columbus, Ohio. What else we got? Okay, Red Sanford, Louisiana. Have I ever met West Coast Cam? Yeah, I did meet Cam. Did I meet Cam? I did meet Cam. I met Cam in Detroit at Savior's Day one year. I met Cam. Good brother. Um, 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 Oscar Martinez, Triple D. All right, that's it. All right, no more shout outs, no more likes. All right, last call for non-alcohol. I'll catch y'all later, man. But look, this what y'all do. About 3 hours from now, about 10 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. Central. Uh, go to the Legends 34 podcast. We'll be doing a full-on show via Zoom, talking about the fight. Of course, talking about my Houston Rockets and other sports stories, man, that we can come up with, man. So, love, peace, and hair grease. All right.